And then in the middle of a healthcare update from the Labor Secretary, Mr. Acosta, Trump got involved in some wishful thinking, let's call it. I call it unadulterated horse shit, but let's call it wishful thinking about the repeal of the healthcare law enacted under Obama. And Trump said, well, we actually got rid of Obamacare, except for one vote. Oh. Ah. He's referring to John McCain, of course. Two other Republicans also voted against its repeal, as did 48 Democrats, but never mind. That's not Trump world. Trump lives in a psychosis, a little swirling mass where people stand around and praise him and adore him and tell him what a wonderful leader he is. Except for that fucking John McCain. Ooh, he makes me angry. Trump also offered his own bullshit explanation. It says explanation, but it doesn't explain anything. State officials in California and firefighting experts more or less said he's so full of shit as a Christmas goose. But he was trying to explain the scourge of wildfires ravaging California. He said they were the result of water being diverted into the Pacific Ocean. That's it. That's absolutely it. And you know who diverted that water into the Pacific Ocean? Those environmental terrorists. Ryan Zinke will tell you that. Secretary of Interior. He knows. He knows. Jesus Christ. And then he said something I don't get. You know, there are little fish called smelt. I don't know anything about them except their name. This is what Trump said. Quote, we're spending a fortune in California because of poor maintenance and because, frankly, they're sending a lot of water out to the Pacific to protect the smelt. What the fuck? I'm assuming smelt are saltwater fish. What would shooting fresh water into something as enormous as the Pacific Ocean have to do with protecting the smelt? This man gives the word ignorant a bad name. But there's got to be something beyond ignorant. And then he called on this little asshole Ryan Zinke. What a traitor this man is. But he wanted Zinke to repeat an argument that Zinke had made earlier in the day on television, that climate change was in no way responsible for the horror that's been hitting California. No, it has nothing to do with climate change. It has to do with environmental terrorists. It has nothing to do with climate change. Trump said, quote, Ryan was saying it's not global warming. It's not a global warming thing. It's, you know, management situation. And then Zinke, I mean, this crazy fucker, I don't know if Zinke was this insane before he got this close to Trump. I'm assuming he was. But Zinke blamed Canadian lumber imports for what Zinke called displacing American-grown lumber on the market, which leaves fallen trees to rot and become combustible. So it's Canada's fault. You know what Trump said when Zinke said that with a nod? So ridiculous. So ridiculous. The irony there is so thick you can cut it with a fucking side of your hand. The whole meeting was ridiculous. Trump is ridiculous. Zinke is ridiculous. Now, if you remember what happened yesterday, newspapers around the country, after Trump had tweeted fake news media is the opposition party, Hundreds of newspapers ran editorials condemning his attacks as a threat to press freedom. And Trump said that this live 57-minute meeting with his cabinet, they got a lot done, didn't they? May I kiss your ass again, Mr. President? Oh, is there another part of your anatomy you want me to kiss? Oh, I'll be happy to, sir. You're such a godly leader. But Trump said, he told a small group of reporters representing the White House press corps at the meeting, Trump turned to them and he said this, quote, "If you'd like, you can stay, or if you'd like, you can also leave. Don't forget, freedom of the press, freedom of the press." You mocking son of a bitch. Well, Steve Mnuchin, this gruesome little fucker who was ready to impose additional sanctions on members of Turkey's government, the leader of which, Erdogan, is ready to invade the United States. He's so pissed off. And then some of the other shit that Trump wanted to share was just out-and-out bullshit. For example, he asked Sonny Perdue, former governor here in Georgia, he asked Sonny Perdue, who's now the agriculture secretary, how American farmers are faring. Before Perdue could answer, Trump said, "The farmers like Trump." Who talks about themselves in the third person like that? Trump added, "They're selling corn, and they're selling the soybean. The soybean. And they're selling everything at levels that are soon going to be really great levels. I'm hearing it's starting to really pick up." Prices for agricultural exports fell last month by the largest percentage in 7 years, driven in large part by a major drop for soybeans, or the soybean. So Perdue, you know, he's from Georgia. He pushed back just a little bit, not very much. He said, "Well, obviously there's some price constraints right now." Ooh, you got balls there, Sonny. You said that to Trump. Well, obviously there's some price constraints right now. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Perdue told Trump that the farmers were keeping the faith. Perdue then added, quote, "They believe what you're doing in China, as you've tried to indicate to them, will lead to a better and brighter future." And then the house lights went down and the music came up and the credits rolled across your TV screen. Fuck me right.